Depending on how often and how much of it you do, it could take anywhere from 6 to 10 years for you to truly get great at something, or like to master it. Some estimates it may take about 10,000 hours to master anything. But I think it varies from person to person, and it depends on the skill, of course, and some other factors. But that means that whatever skill you're trying to gain right now, it's going to take you a very, very long time to master. This fact alone is enough to deter most people from trying anything new. However, it's also true that you only need 20 hours to be okay at something. But how can that be true? How can it take 20 hours to get 80% of the way there to your result, but it'll take 10,000 hours to get 100% of the results? Well, this is because of the 80-20 rule. This rule states that you can achieve 80% of the results to anything with only 20% of the effort or 20% of the input, but the remaining 20% of the results will require 80% more effort. This rule seems to be pretty universal, and this is why most businesses don't try to appeal to everyone, just most people. It's actually been shown that 80% of a business's profits come from only 20% of its clients. So what is the 80-20 rule? Well, it was first discovered by an Italian economist called Vilfredo Pareto. Pareto first identified this law in his garden. He observed that 20% of his pea pods produced 80% of the healthy peas, which led to him discovering that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by only 20% of the population. So what does some Italian gardener economist's observation have to do with you? Well, on average, it can be said that you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Or you may also observe that you communicate with the same 20% of your phone's contacts 80% of the time. So if we learn to identify these trends, we can begin using them to our advantage. For example, 80% of the results that you achieve from your job can be done in only 20% of your time with 20% of your effort. And when you study for a test, I'm sure you found that 80% of the test consists of only 20% of the things that you studied. So unless you're pursuing 100% of the results, it doesn't really make sense to put 100% of the effort 100% of the time. But I promise you that if you only chase 80% of the results, you will end up on a much better place on average with less effort than if you were to pursue 100% of the results every single time. Now, I'd like to give you a quick disclaimer. I'm not telling you not to do your job, and I'm not telling you not to study for your tests, because if you follow my advice, I don't want you then to email me and tell me that you lost your job or you failed a test because of that. I'm just trying to highlight the fact that most people spend so much time chasing 100% of the results on any single thing. Personally, I don't try to be a master of anything in particular. I try to learn about 80% of anything that I'm trying to learn, and that's as far as I take it, because I personally have a ton of general knowledge on a ton of general things. I'm not particularly an expert on any one thing, but this usually means that I can hold a conversation about pretty much any topic with anyone. And because of this, I generally never find myself in a situation where I don't have anything to talk about with a new person that I meet. But this also translates well into many other aspects of my life. So while I don't possess the skills of like a professional chef, I know how to cook well enough to impress most people and definitely enough to eat. And while I'm not an expert gardener, I know enough to grow my own herbs. And the same can be said for building things. I'm not a carpenter, but I know just enough about carpentry to fix some of my home furniture. So now that the new year has started, I challenge everyone to pick up a new skill. Spend 45 minutes every single day for a month, and at the end of that month, you're going to have achieved your 20 hours, and you will possess a new skill that you otherwise might have never tried because of how long it's going to take to master it. After all, you only need to read 3 books on any particular subject to learn more about it than 90% of the population. Plus, I'm actually very interested in to see what kind of skills you guys pick up. So leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are going to learn. I'm pretty interested in that. So as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button. If you hated the video, hit that thumbs down button twice just to make sure. And regardless, make sure to subscribe so that you never miss out on one of my videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.